Welcome back to RNG Small Ball. Today we are breaking down the 2026 NBA Finals, where the New York Knicks just took down the San Antonio Spurs 4-1. Now, on paper, a 4-1 series looks like a gentleman's sweep, but don't let that fool you. This was genuinely competitive, hyper-dramatic basketball, and 3 of the 5 games were decided by a single possession. But that's exactly the problem for San Antonio. The Spurs didn't just lose the series, they practically handed it over. We're talking about a brutal youth movement running straight into a wall of veteran composure. Make sure to hit that follow button, drop a like, and share this video if you love the game. Let's get into it. Let's start with the biggest story of this series, which is the blown leads. And it wasn't just a trend, it was a total epidemic for the Spurs. And we absolutely have to start with Game 4 because what happened in New York was downright historic and deserves the most attention. San Antonio came out absolutely blazing on the road. They led 41-22 after the first quarter, and at one point they were up as many as 29 points, a 29-point lead in an elimination scenario. And they somehow managed to lose 107-106. The Knicks outscored them 59-30 in the second half. Think about that, a 29-point comeback is officially the biggest comeback in NBA Finals history, and it perfectly encapsulates the Spurs' inability to close when the lights got bright. But it wasn't just Game 4. Look at Game 2 back in San Antonio. The Spurs built a 12-point lead early, completely controlled the momentum, and then just choked it away in the second half, losing 105-104. Even Game 5, the clincher, followed the exact same script. San Antonio was up 10 after the first quarter, led at halftime, and then got completely outscored 29-18 in the fourth quarter to lose the game and the title 94-90. Surrendering double-digit leads in 3 separate games is a mental composure issue. It's coaching, it's execution, and it traces right back to how young this roster is. Now on the flip side, let's talk about the man who made those New York comebacks possible every single time. Jalen Brunson. This was flat out masterclass in clutch basketball. Brunson averaged right around 32 points per game for the series, and he consistently saved his best for the fourth quarter. In that historic Game 4 comeback, he put up 36 points and literally carried the offense on his back. In Game 5, the closer, he went nuclear. He dropped 45 points, shot 14 of 27 from the field, and went a clutch 13 of 15 from the free throw line. What makes Brunson so special though is that he never looks rattled even in tough moments. When the Spurs were up by 20 plus points, he didn't panic or force things. He just methodically picked them apart, got to his spots, and lived at the charity stripe. He shot 88 free throws in just 5 games, hitting nearly 84% of them. That is how you win championships. Brunson played like a guy who's been to the mountaintop before, even though this was his very first ring. But while Brunson cemented his legacy, De'Aaron Fox had a series he'd probably like to forget. Look, Fox was brought to the San Antonio Spurs to be that veteran playoff tested stabilizing force for this young core. But in the finals, it was a massive struggle. In Game 1, he shot 3 of 13 from the field for just 7 points. In Game 3, he went 4 of 14 for 12 points. Then in Game 5, with their lives on the line, he went 3 of 15 for another 7-point night. That is 23% shooting in a closeout game. Fox was a combined minus 15 in the games the Spurs lost. He looked uncomfortable on the ball late in games, and the Knicks defense completely sniffed out his tendencies. The Spurs needed him to be a rock, and unfortunately just couldn't deliver when it mattered the most. If there's one major silver lining for San Antonio, it's Dylan Harper. And honestly, the rookie deserved a lot more attention and a lot more minutes than he got. Harper was the number 2 pick in the draft, and he looks like a legitimate superstar in the making. His size, his physicality, and his touch around the rim are all elite. He gave him 16 points in Game 1, 21 points on an ultra-efficient 67% shooting in Game 4, and a team-high 25 points in Game 5. He was their most efficient paint scorer, and he played with zero fear. Yet his minutes were incredibly inconsistent. You can make a serious argument that the Spurs' best lineup in this series had Harper running the point, not Fox. San Antonio has a special talent, but the coaching staff needs to trust him with the keys in big moments instead of deferring to struggling veterans like Fox. Ultimately, this series came down to youth versus experience. Victor Wembanyama is only in his 3rd year, and he's already a top-tier player in this league. He had huge scoring nights, putting up 26, 29, and 32 points. But even Wemby showed his age. He had 6 turnovers in Game 1, battled foul trouble, and shot just 37% in the final game. He's going to be terrifying in 2 years, but right now there are still some rough edges. Combine that with Stephon Castle's rookie mistakes, and the youth tax was just too high. The Knicks, though, are full of battle-tested vets. OG Anunoby was brilliant with 33 points in Game 4. Josh Hart was a total menace defensively, racking up steals and hustle plays. And Karl-Anthony Towns gave them that reliable inside presence. To to battle Wemby. When the fourth quarter arrived, New York knew exactly how to execute. San Antonio panicked, and New York profited. So, where do we go from here? For New York, the party is just beginning, and Jalen Brunson is a New York legend forever, period. For San Antonio, this isn't a disaster, it's a learning experience. They are way ahead of schedule. Wemby is going to dominate the next decade, and Dylan Harper is a future All-NBA star. But this offseason, they have to address the late game execution, and they have to have an honest conversation about De'Aaron Fox's fit with this core. That is the 2026 NBA Finals. Knicks win it all. Brunson is the king of New York, and the Spurs get a painful lesson in what it takes to win a chip. Thanks for watching RNG Small Ball. Let me know in the comments below. Did the Spurs choke this series away, or did the Knicks just take it from them? Don't forget to follow and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.